My industry is saturated. I'm sure you've heard that phrase over and over again from people who are trying to start something new. They believe the whole world is in that industry. And because of that, they don't think that they are fit to go into the same industry and do the same thing. And as such, they create this logical excuse to excuse themselves from doing something great. My name is Bukola. I am a Big Four audit manager, a career mentor, and an inspirational speaker. And I'll be talking to you about this because I think it has stopped a lot of people in their tracks, and it has kept people back from actually being the best of themselves and showing up in places where they themselves think that they can't stand out. Now, the reason why I call this a logical excuse is if you look at it, if you stand back and you look at it, almost every industry you can think of right now has many players in it. Some of them, the cost of entry is so high, beginners don't stand a chance. While some of them, the cost of entry is so low, everybody seem to want to go that direction. Either ways, you will see players. But there's something you will also see when it comes to the players. You will see the big players, which is almost a monopoly. So the big players would be taking more than 90% share of that industry's revenue or of whatever goodies is coming out of that industry. So you will have the big players, those people who have a presence, who have the brands, who have the money, and who can influence for action. So you would see those people, the big guns, the big players. You would also see people who are probably in the middle. They're not as big as the big guys, but they're also, people can sort of relate to them. Then you have people who are basically scrambling for the scraps, like maybe sharing the last 5%. And those in the bucket of those sharing the scraps are usually so many compared to what they're sharing. Now, what happens is a lot of people, when they want to get into any industry, they only focus on the large number of people sharing the very, very small portion of the goodies coming into that revenue. And that is why I have called it a logical excuse, because your perception of a particular industry will either push you to want to be part of that industry or stop you, and you're not going to do anything in that area. Now, typically, what I would personally want to do if I wanted to join, if I wanted to do something new and I thought many people were already playing in the field, is to count on my fingertips actually how many people. Because sometimes 5 people may look like 500 to you just because of how often they show up and how prolific they are. It doesn't necessarily mean that these people are profound enough, are doing their research enough, or they've got all the competitive advantages that you can then take advantage of to stand out. If you must stand out, you have to prepare your mind to stand out. And if you are ready to stand out, then it will be easy for you to go into any industry of choice, given the required trainings you have and your appetite for more knowledge. It will be so easy for you to go in there and stand out. So once you have prepared your mind, I'm not just going into this industry, I'm actually going in there to stand out, then you will stand out. Now, let us unpack how you're going to do this, because there are many motivational speakers and there are many people who will tell you just do it, just do it, just do it. I will not tell you just do it. I will tell you how you're going to do it. So the first thing I want you to think about is, you see that mindset of, oh, it's already saturated. You want to get into the coaching business, it's already saturated. You want to become an influencer, a social media influencer, is already saturated. You want to become a digital marketer, is already saturated. If you want to get into finance, oversaturated. Whatever it is that you are thinking about, hospitality, health, whatever, is saturated, and it will continue to be. So you see that mindset of it is saturated, I need you to ditch it, okay? It's a scarcity mindset. Is that mindset of I don't deserve the goodness coming out of this industry, so why should I even try? And beyond the fact that it is a scarcity mindset, it is also a trap. Okay, the belief that there is nothing for me here is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it is something that you have thought about and you have by your inaction brought to life, and that is why you are not going in, you are not making a start, and nothing is working. Okay, so if you already in your mind are playing small, you are hesitating, you are overcomplicating your strategy, you're not going to start. If you are hesitating, you're like, if I go in there now, there are 200 career coaches. What am I going there to do? Meanwhile, your own area can be different, and the only way you can find out is if you make the first step to actually become a coach, and then you start seeing the gaps. You would also soon enough find out that although there are many people who are doing the same thing, not everybody is filling the gap that you are looking to fill. Now, visibility is not about saturation. It's about you being clear. For you to be able to get visibility, you need to pick an area of that industry or an area of that niche and dominate it. You need to dominate it, and you need to think about the difference that you bring, which is you actually, because you are the difference. So you need to think about the difference that you bring. So instead of saying this niche is saturated, there are many people doing these things, there are many editors, there are many graphic designers, there are many. The question is, who are you serving? What are you serving them for? And how important is the problem you are solving for important people? Okay. Number 2 thing is, I want you to become a signature voice. I want you to be that person that stands for something. I don't want you to be generic, giving the same advice that everybody is given. I need you to create a sub niche for yourself and dominate that sub niche, and try to make sure that how you communicate, the warmth you bring, and how you show up is different. Okay? I want you to be unmistakable and rememberable. And for that to happen, you need to outthink your competitors. You need to outthink the other players in that niche. You need to also outperform them from the point of view of producing profound solutions. So if you are basically making video content like this, you diving into the how that most people won't dive into, and you actually providing solution that someone will watch your video, and the very first time they are watching your video, they will be like, this is powerful enough, I am going to come back. In fact, I'm going to subscribe, and I'm going to turn on post notifications so that I don't miss anything coming out of this person. And now for that to happen, you have to be profound, and you have to put out a lot of volume of content. That also applies in your career. When you're solving problems at work, the way you solve the problems, the way you carry people along on the journey, the way you present yourself, the way you say, leave that with me, I'm able to help resolve it, the way you show reliability, and beyond that, the way you show up every single day without miss is all going to pull together to make you unmistakable. So you need to think about that, and that is so key. Okay, so don't forget that you are not just an offering, and you are not just a product, you are the premium offering. And having that back of your mind will help you show up even better. Okay. Now, step 3, or the third thing I want you to think about, we've talked about you ditching the saturation mindset. We've also talked about you having a signature voice. The third thing I need you to think about is consistency, and this time unreasonable consistency, ruthless execution. That has to happen. Now, a lot of people have such great ideas, such brilliant ideas, but when it comes to actually executing those ideas, they don't know how to nail their strategy. First, they don't have a strategy, they don't know how to nail their strategy, and they are not consistent at showing up. So people know you to show up at a certain time every single day, then people know to expect you to show up. Okay? And not just showing up, you also show up to do the work that works for you and the people that you serve. Okay? So I need you to identify that area that you need to dominate. I need you to ditch the scarcity mindset and the saturation mindset. I need you to have a signature voice such that when you write a piece of content or you shoot a piece of video or you show up at work and do your work in a certain way, people can attribute it to you. Also, when it comes to ruthless execution, you are ready to bend your back to do the work that will change your life. It is not just, I want my life to change, I want my life to change. The question is, are you ready to do the work that will actually change your life? Okay? Now, if you really want to do a small, very small sort of exercise, look at your industry or the industry you're trying to get into right now. How many people can you really point to say they are dominating the game in that industry? How many people? Trust me, it can't be more than 1 to 2%. So when you already have that mindset of I am going to dominate in this industry, then that is going to happen. I'm going to be the top 1%, I'm going to be top 2%, then that is going to happen. Okay? Now, you need to master the art of strategic exceptionalism. It's not just, I want to be exceptional, I want to be different. Like, you need to be strategic. Is it by the people you network with, by the people you talk to? Is it by a system of visibility that you found such that you're showing up in the faces of people every single day compared to what your competitors will typically do? You need to be prolific. You need to show up via volume. Okay? At the point of entry, you need to know already that you're coming in to win. So you need to plan to win. You're not just, I'm coming into this industry, I'm going into finance, I'm going into this, I'm going into that. You must plan to win. And you must have a roadmap. Exactly what you want to do that will take you towards dominance. Okay? If you don't plan to win, you will probably not. So you need to understand that winning is the deal and you have to win. Okay? So if you don't know what you're looking for, you'll probably not find it. So if you know that you're going into that game to dominate it, then you should make up your mind ahead of time. Now, once you get in and you make up your mind and you start doing all the right things that you need to do for your career, all the right things you need to do for your personal brand, you will then see that it wasn't as difficult to stand out as you thought. That's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video as much as I've done creating it. If you want to work with me, there's going to be a link in the description box below. Please use the link to go to my storefront. You can also join the Career Mastery Hub, which is our community where we train, teach, collaborate to make sure professionals have profitable careers and personal brand. Thank you for joining me in this one, and I'll see you in the next one.